I wish I knew just how long custody cases take. They take a very long time. Think about any time you've had to interact with the government, whether it's taxes, whether it's getting your driver's license, any of those things. If you've had to deal with a government employee, think about how incompetent they are. Think about how frustrating your experience is. Think about how little the people that work there care. That's what you're dealing with. And so when you are trying to get a very delicate case done quickly so that your children can have peace or rest, you're not going to get that from this system. It is very slow. Things are done so inefficiently that everything takes forever. A couple of examples. If you are assigned a judge, you will wait months for them to have your trial seen. Matter of fact, it may take years. It literally took me almost 2 years just to be seen by a judge the first time. There are no rules that, the paperwork has to be done in this amount of time. You have to actually get us the information we need in this amount of time. The lawyers are able to just go to the judge and say, hey, we need a little bit more time. And the judge is just like, they don't care. So you will have your case continued over and over and over again. If they're missing one piece of paperwork, if they're missing one email, if they need one call back from this person, it will be continued. And every time it's continued, here is how it works. If a judge is assigned to your case, that judge is only going to sit on the bench like once every 3-4 months. So if they continue your case, it doesn't get continued for a couple of days, couple of weeks. It's months. So every single time one side isn't ready, your case will be kicked down the road for months. So it very quickly will take years for your case to be taken care of. So whatever time frame you have in your mind as to how long you think it's going to take, you need to add years to that because it's not going to be quick. And my advice to you is not to make short-term decisions. So many times there are so much uncertainty. There's so much things that you don't know, and there's so many decisions that you don't have the full story on. So you make a lot of short-term decisions, things that you know won't work in the long term, but you just make the decision in the short term because you think to yourself, well, this will be over soon, and then we can do X, Y, or Z. Well, it's not going to be over soon. I'm sorry, but it's not. So you need to make decisions that are going to be more long term. I know it's difficult, but really try, because making short-term decisions will make it so difficult when the thing is finally over. It will put you so far back where you're having to pick up the pieces of your life and you're having to get back down to ground zero because your life has basically been at standstill for years. I know that it is a very difficult pill to swallow, and I know that that's not a popular opinion, but that's the best advice I can give you, is that really try to make longer term decisions and keep it in your mind. This is going to take longer than I think. Let me make decisions that are going to make it easier for me and my children to live a better life now. Because so many times we'll just say, I'm just not going to deal with that. I'm just going to wait till this is over. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to wait till this is over. And I'm telling you from personal experience, that is going to bite you in the butt, because you cannot live in an untenable way for years on end. It will cause depression. It will cause all kinds of pain, and it's just not going to work long term. So make sure that you make decisions with the mindset of, this is going to take a while. I am Amanda Nicole, and I am the CEO of Freedom Through Divorce. And so I create personal development courses and ebooks and all kinds of things that are geared towards women of God who have been through divorce, who are considering divorce, and who want to move towards freedom and finding their purpose in God. So what is Freedom Through Divorce? Well, Freedom Through Divorce is actually an online school full of personal development courses for women of God who have been through divorce or who are considering divorce. Anyone who has had to deal with divorce understands that it is extremely difficult. There are so many balls that you have to juggle. Will the children be okay? Is this something that God is going to be okay with? How does it affect my relationship with God? How am I going to learn how to be independent as a new single person or a new single mom? And there's so many things you have to consider. And as a Christian, there are just so few resources out there to help you understand how to navigate those things. So this is a school that really goes from considering divorce and understanding God's views on divorce, when it's acceptable, when it's not acceptable, and understanding that there are so many more cases where God sees divorce as acceptable than what is normally taught out there. And it does it in a way that is not condescending, that's not judgmental, that is just giving you the information from God's heart. And most importantly, is from someone that's been through what you're going through. It's not just theology. It's not just I read this or I heard this, but it's someone that's actually walked through it. So the personal development courses are meant to help you move and experience freedom through divorce, because there's so many people who they get a divorce, but they don't thrive afterwards. They stay stuck. They stay bitter. They stay telling anyone that'll listen how terrible their ex is. And that's not God's plan for you. God wants you to be able to move towards the purpose and plan that he has for your life and to thrive so that the chapter of your life post-divorce is better. That's what the word says. It says your latter days shall be greater than the former days. So that's what freedom through divorce is all about. It's personal development courses that you can take the information from a biblical perspective and experiencing God's freedom, his prosperity, his love, his joy, his peace, all of the fruits of the Spirit and the blessings that he sent his son to die for you to be able to have. Just because you've had to go through a divorce does not mean that you are negated from the promises that God has for you. So that's what freedom through divorce is. If you're interested in learning more, visit our school today.